Hey there, boys and girls. Welcome back to another Jaraci Cup special. I'm getting inventive. Anyway, it's going to be between cowofschmau now, playing as the Galzian, and God Hates Weebs as the Soban. Both rolling some pretty good colors. He really selling the cow aspect of everything, and I imagine he camouflaged this pretty nicely on the second map of the series, which is going to be Kalash Teeth. Yeah, God Hates Weebs with pretty good colors, I think. Like, I really enjoy those. It's kind of soft, you know, blue and white. Actually, it might just be the Sidin colors from the campaign now that I think about it, but they look good, you know? Honestly, almost any color looks pretty good when you're playing Homeworld. It's so cool in Homeworld how you get to choose, like, the base color and the stripe color and everything. But anyway, let's talk strategy here. I do see two salvagers immediately going onto the RUs, and I know God Hates Weebs was a big fan of the gunship. So I don't think it's entirely unreasonable to expect that that might be what he's going for here. As for cowofschmau playing as the Galzian, looks like he's just settling up his base, you know, blowing himself up a little bit like you do. Sandscreamer Fabrication not yet coming out, but there's no base runner retirement, so... Looks like a pretty standard play. Sandscreamer Fab was about the minute mark, yeah, that's pretty normal. LAB Fab, meanwhile, about to finish for God Hates Weebs. Now, I can't remember exactly how much fighter and gunship costs, but he's going to have about that much, I believe. Yeah, 500 by 200. It's a bit more RUs than I expected. But these two are going to drop off, and then he'll have 160. Okay, so a little bit of time lost there, if that is indeed what he's going for. Yeah, I was about to say, well, they'll drop off, and then he'll have enough. But in the mod, the salvager only holds 20 instead of 40. Which means he drops off more frequently, right? It doesn't change the mining at all when you're, like, on the carrier, but when you're long-distance mining, it's a lot slower, which I think is actually a really good change. That, you know, we can go into the reasons for that, but suffice to say, that is the difference. It's going to be railguns now for cowofschmau, and he does actually move this production cruiser out into the middle. If he's planning on, like, a one-base, like, timing push here, he might have some trouble, because the gunship actually would be a pretty nice counter to those railguns. It's got the armor to deal with the production cruiser and base burner AA. Only problem is it's going to take a long time to come out. So this will be interesting, actually. I'm quite curious to see how this one works. I kind of wish we could, like, see this kind of thing in a vacuum, you know, with, like, perfect micro, but in that case, I believe, actually, Galzian has pretty good chances in this scenario. Just because I think the gunship's going to come out too late. I mean, you can see Railgun Fab finishing about like a second. Still about 15 away for, oh, and the LAVs definitely need to be targeting the Sandstormers. Like, the base runner is not really a priority here. Plus, you can use the targeting jammer to, like, minimize the attack damage from your opponent a little bit. Nice play right there. cowofschmau going to be holding one of these guys back. And I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the video, but I actually would... oh yeah, there's the gunship. I would pick Cow as probably the favorite in this match because of this. Like, his micro is not, like, godlike, but it's quite good, I think. I think he's gonna have a pretty nice match here. This would be a nice place for targeting jammer, but it's not gonna go down. LAVs get kind of jumped on here. I think that's gonna be probably all three of these lost for free. Although actually this guy is kind of overextended. You know, this will be fine. This will be fine. The targeting jammer does go out, but it was a little bit off. ALM's getting deployed, and that's usually a bad sign. I say that because, you know, if you're using those to, like, hold yourself, it's not good. It usually means, like, things are going wrong here. But the gunship is about to finish, and actually we don't have any rails on the field just yet, so that bodes well, I believe, for the Weeb hater. Here we come. With these guys stunned, too... oh, don't go for the eco. No, I think he should actually kill off these Sandstormers here. That AA does a lot more than it does in vanilla, I gotta say. It's not about half health. Well, you know what? Actually, now that I look at it, there's another base burner here, alright, but this guy can actually probably do some serious damage to the eco, so maybe this is fine. This might actually be the play. Kind of depends how things are going down on the home front, though, doesn't it? With the double ALM up here, I think this is actually pretty good. The LAVs can handle themselves quite nicely. And Cow is going to lose some eco here. He just needs to make sure, God, that he doesn't pass this guy over the base runner for too long. Because he could lose it, and that would be pretty trash. It's out of ammo, though. It's got a dock. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. Ooh. Yeah, it's got to be careful with that thing. If he flies over the production cruise, I think he dies. So he needs to be a little careful about this. But the assault railguns are not having the time that they were expecting. And I think that's due to the fact that they're just less beefy in general. Gunship's gonna go down, yeah, that's a dead gunship. 1 HP! But you're gonna fly over the production cruise. Oh, rip in pieces, dude. Anyway. And it's AAVs that are coming out now? Oh, you put the ALM inside of the targeting jammer. Anyway, it's AAVs that are coming out right now. Eco's actually kind of getting sacked here voluntarily, but I think it might be just essential. I would actually push... Well, this guy's kind of dead anyway. But yeah, like the ALM here is going to actually catch these guys on the retreat, but it's time to pull the carrier back and get your eco set up again. Yeah, if that gunship didn't die, I think maybe this is actually doable, but... And you can see Cow, he's transitioning to heavy rails because he's basically feeling like this is over. I think actually he's not quite at that state where he should be making heavy rails just yet, because with ALMs and such, like, he can actually lose these rails a lot faster than he would expect, but... He is ahead, definitely, I would agree. Like, economically speaking, a lot more damage has been done to God Hates Weebs here, but... I think assault railguns are still the play here, because, you know, LAVs could be coming out now, and that's going to be pretty bad. I love the double base runner, by the way. I mean, even... I think he did that, actually, in reaction to the fact that a gunship came out, and that's something new about the mod, right? I mean, base runners don't really have too much AA in vanilla. Maybe like enough to snipe down probes and such, but it's not really much more than that. But, you know, in the mod, this is actually a very... Dude, can you even aim? Like, anyway, in the mod, that's actually a very legitimate counter to air, right? And it worked in this case. He ended up shooting down that gunship. And now he's also got field control, so he's just pulling out these artifacts here. Not sure why he hasn't built another railgun out of the production cruiser. I would like to have seen that, obviously, but... This is looking good, and refiner mode is on the way. I like that, too. What is resources like? Maybe he's low on RUs, I don't know. These AAVs could have pushed, by the way. Like, there's only one heavy railgun here. And they outspeed him by like 20 kilometers an hour or something, so... He could have killed this and then maybe stopped one of the extractions, but... Not anymore. So, 2 more extractions gonna go down. And it's sand skimmers coming out from Cal. I would actually just go assault railguns, I think, but... 'Tis a subjective matter. Railgun fabrication coming out from God Hates Weebs now. That's obviously the counter here to these rails, but I think actually he ought to just go strike fighters. I don't know, man. I feel like that gunship actually really could have worked pretty well, but I would definitely hesitate before suggesting he build another one, right? So. As I take a sip on my drink. My idol! Okay, it is going to be strike fighters, actually. Although it's cute a railgun after it. Obviously, this is not very good. Like, if you cancel the railgun, you can get the carrier production upgrade, and then you can start making them at the same time, so... That's the play here. This guy's going to die, this base burner, but that's okay. He's launching the strike fighters now against the sand skimmers. I would take it and just kill off that railgun with him if I would. Or if I were him. Gotta be careful about that AA, of course. But this strike fighter, he should be okay. That's the thing about the gunship, though. It has more armor, right? And so the base runner shouldn't have been able to kill it. Like, it didn't... I don't know. It took way more damage than it should have. Because when he ran out of ammo, he came back and then flew out this way. So he took damage from the base runner, like, twice on that exchange. And then he flew directly over the other base runner and the production cruiser on the way back to the carrier. So... Just wasn't microed properly, but they do have more armor, so they should be able to resist against base runners a lot better than that. Something you can't really do with strike fighters. It's exciting too, you know. Peanut bombers are like that too. By which I mean precision bombers, but that's what I call them in my head, because I can't remember who, but someone kept calling them P bombers or something, and it's like peanut bombers. Anyway. I am so slow! Oh wow. I swear, Savon railguns are so much better at hitting ground targets than normal railguns. I don't know why. Well, strike fighters are going to clean that one up pretty nicely. Looks like Cow is basically taking this into an eco game, but for some reason he hasn't actually started mining over here. And so I'm a little worried about him now. He was definitely Like, by a pretty wide margin, I'd say he was pretty much ahead after the whole fiasco in the middle there. He's still looking really good because of the base runners and stuff, but I mean, I don't know, I feel like he should be a lot further than he is right now. Like, there should be more railguns on the field, his eco should be really strong. Part of it, I think, has got to be that he's not mining over here. He's getting anti-air too, okay, I get that, but I don't know, I'm just expecting there should be more out on the field from him. Look how many CUs he's stacking. Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't know. It's odd. That's very good for God Hates Weebs to take out the base runners, or at least get their health down, because you know that's kind of the win condition your opponent's looking at right now, yeah? Interestingly, those... Oh yeah, they do have high ground. You know, that's something interesting about high ground. It's often a little difficult to tell from, like, the default camera position, so if you kind of pan around, you can get a better view of it, but... Yeah, no, that's actually a really good fight for God Hates Weebs to be taking here. What are the upgrades like? Actually none for him, which is a little unfortunate. We got Railgun Armor 2 for, what's-his-face, for cowofschmau. You know, we tend to think of Soban Rails as, like, better than other railguns, but I think it's worth noting, like, how the relation actually works there. Once you get the mag accelerator, not before you have it, mind you, so it's kind of a problem that... Oh, this is not a problem, this is a good thing. He's hitting them with the strike fighters, which is excellent. Although he's running into the missile battery here now, so he should probably get out of there. He's definitely going to lose one of the base runner anyway, so... Oh no, get out of there! Get out of there, Ford! Oh! Oh, Ford. No, no, it's Suicauce! Wait, he's a... Oh my... Oh, he outranges the base runner. Well, not if he does this, though. And there goes Ford. So that's going to be a fourth extraction. But he did deny one of them, which is excellent, obviously, because he's still in the game because of it. Anyway, the relationship between the Soban and the Gaussian railguns here, once you get mag accelerator, mind you, is that the damage output is actually the same for each railgun, like the straight damage of like one shot. And then the Gaussian railgun, I believe, has got... This is vanilla stats, it might be a bit different in the mod, but he's got a cooldown of like 3 seconds. He's got a cooldown of 3 and then a reload of 3, and so he fires one shot and then fires another in 3 seconds, but his third shot takes 6, and then his fourth shot only takes 9, and then his fifth shot will take 15, right? Basically every other shot you have the same fire rate as the Gaussian railgun, and every other shot you have the same fire rate as the Coalition railgun. Which means his effectiveness should be pretty much like in the middle of a Gaussian and a Coalition railgun or something, right? So it's common to think that Soban rails are better than other factions' railguns, but it's actually not true. It's more that they're much more cost-effective, right? So they are better than Coalition ones in an extended fight. But the real benefit there is that they're more cost-effective, and then Gaussian railguns one-on-one are better than them still, but they're way more cost-effective, because Gaussian rails are really expensive, so... It's an interesting relationship there. I just think it's worth pointing out. Now, Cal's getting pretty aggressive with this carrier here now. Okay, he is mining off the third base. Third base mining confirmed. I like this play, actually, because even though it's a little bit dangerous, he knew he killed off a bunch of railguns there, and if he can just hold the field so he can get another extraction, that's game, right? In fact, he'd love to grab this one, but I think it's better to wait. But that is going to give his opponent some time to, you know, come up with a response. So Mag Accelerator is coming out. And then a bunch of LAVs. I think that's kind of, yeah, one or the other, you know what I mean? I think he could do this just by spamming rails, but he's going to kind of pick both. But I do see battle cruisers, and that I think is pretty interesting. It could be a good move. Could be a good move. I would love to see him get this tech right here, because that's obviously going to be quite impactful in a moment. And I'd like to see him stop backing his carrier up too. Well, I guess he doesn't have much power compared to his opponent, does he? Yeah, but this base is kind of being given up here. I mean, I think he could fight it. Well, no, not really. He couldn't, could he? This carrier is going to screen for Strikecraft pretty nicely. And that's why I think he should be making rails here instead of LAVs. But because he can win a railgun fight right now. His opponent's numbers are not actually really that good. But yeah, when the BCs pop, you want your carrier close to your opponents, because then suddenly your damage output goes way up. And It's Soban, so it's not as much, but it's still quite a lot. Look how much faster he turns around. Battle cruisers in vanilla, they turn so slowly. It's just like painful. Anyway, I think you got the battle cruiser out here as well as like the 3 railguns. So, I mean, you can take the fight, right? So just go out there and try to push your opponent's carrier off. You've got to do it, right? Because otherwise he's going to extract and that'll be game. And then in the meantime, you can move over here because your opponent's obviously going to be pretty distracted. So yeah, I would just move out here, and then the AAVs can take the LAVs for you. He is getting the upgrade, that's good. Mark target coming out, I love it. I love it. So this is really good. So he's going to put a lot of damage onto this carrier, and Cow's going to have to back away, right? I would move the carrier forward now, just try to take like this forward position here. LAV fight looks like actually is not going his way, but I mean that's why I didn't think he should really have been making them anyway. And the AAV should kind of be over there instead. This battlecruiser is actually going to get killed. He should fight the railguns first. And especially with the AVs, like they're close enough to fight the rails, but they're attacking the carrier instead. So that's definitely a bit of a... Oh, he's just going all out on this carrier. Yeah, he shouldn't do that because he's going to have better chances if he takes the rails first. But there we go, rails are going down. Okay, good. This is a bit of an issue, but that's alright. Yeah, I mean, I think he's looking pretty good here. Just needs to keep pushing. He's also not really producing anything, so, I mean, just spam rails, that's all you need right now. Oh, but you gotta take out these rails that are killing you. Definitely this guy should smoke, too. Smoke is one of those abilities battlecruisers have that's, like, really good, because obviously, you know... it's not like, I don't know. You can keep the guy alive for so much longer if he smokes, like, often he'll get out when he really shouldn't have, you know what I mean? Soldier's getting replaced, that's actually fine, but, I don't know, I'd prefer to see him spamming rails and pushing right now. And like I mentioned, this was going to be a bit of a problem. It is now. These AAVs probably should have been over there in the first place, but they definitely need to get back now. It's a good scanner, it kind of reveals the AAV is still over here, there's no more being produced. Only for a short time, but it does. How's their vision? Like, how is this fight taking place here? Base runner's gonna die with the sand skimmers, but this is a bit of a bad move actually. He should just pull him around the side. Yeah, God Hates Weebs knows about these sand skimmers now. Question is just what he's gonna do about it. Artifact gets denied, that's Wexcellent. Wexcellent? That's Wexcellent. Yes, he's pulling back with the carrier. Yeah, this is not gonna be good. There's just nothing in position to stop this. Hey, a gunship, right? But he doesn't have one. Actually, I have been killed by A-Game a couple times when I've had like a really nice Strikecraft backstab going like this, and then 2 gunships pop out and just everyone dies. It's like, it's really effective, but he can try and push on his opponent's carrier, maybe, but this thing is so speedy though, this carrier, and when his eco dies, then the railgun spam is definitely going to favor cowofschmau. Although again, I'd like to point out, look at the resources here. Like, there's so many CUs and RUs in the bank for both players that really the armies on the field should be like twice as big at least. So, whoa, he just queued up a lot of units. Oh, well, they're battlecruisers, I guess. BCs are good, but I think you do better if you just spam rails at this point. Yeah, and again, he's still attacking the carrier instead of the railguns, and so he's going to lose that rail fight eventually. So this is going to be pretty bad. Yeah, okay, so sand skimmers are just going to clean all of this up eventually. I mean, whenever they decide to. No pressure, guys, no pressure. You know what? Cow could actually die here. He definitely needs to just power up the speed and, like, get out. No, don't stop. Oh, no, no, no. You're going to... Oh, no. He's going to die here, isn't he? Oh, that shouldn't have happened. Oh, no. What a choke. He wins. With all this going on in the background, he still won, actually. Oh, no. With 4 out of 5. Nice. Okay. So, yeah, definitely the play there was to speed away here and then just keep spamming the rails, right? And eventually you're going to beat off your opponent's attack here. He's going to run out of money and he's going to run out of units over here, and your carrier can be safe because he's fast, right? And that's what Gal's going to do. So, ooh. Ooh. In fact, your carrier can speed around this way and then start doing the eco harass with your sand skimmers if you want. That's rough. That's rough. But he does take it. That's fair. So, that's 1-0 for God Hates Weebs.